bankruptcies. 6 fucking bankruptcies, including bankrupting a fucking casino, is bankrupting the global casino. Where's the so much winning meme that I keep playing? We have to play it again. Who has it? Someone has it.
We're gonna win so much, you may even get tired of winning. And you'll say, please, it's too much winning. We can't take it anymore.
Not this one. I want the other one. The one that organizer memes made. I love that one. That one was my favorite.
The president, it's too much, and
yeah, this is the one. So much,
you may even get tired of winning. And you'll say, please, it's too much winning. We can't take it anymore. Mr. President, it's too much. And I'll say, no, it isn't. We have to keep winning. We have to win more. We're going to win more. We're going to win so much. Please, it's too much winning. We can't take it anymore.
One of the funniest parts about all of this shit is that like the Tim Pools of the world and the Trump dick riders of the world are like, Donald Trump is eradicating billionaires and their wealth right now. $7 trillion. Pee-pee poofed overnight. $7 trillion in market value gone. Okay? Couple things that I must maintain here. 1, money is the most fake it's ever been. It will never be more fake than it is at this very moment. That's number 1. The entire global financial structure is just, it's all maintained through confidence. Okay? It is so crazy. That's number 1. Number two, money is the fakest it's ever been. That's number 1. Number 2, the idea for leftist values and socialists is not just to like fuck everyone's 401ks or their nest eggs or whatever. The entire point is uplifting the working class. It's not about, like, leftists do not want to nuke the entire planet. Okay? That's not the point. And a lot of these fucking dumbasses on the right don't comprehend that. They're like, oh, I thought this is what you wanted. It's like, no, dude, no. We want everyone to have basic amenities, to have their basic needs met, because we have the power and we have the abundance to be able to do this. We have the surplus to be able to do this. Okay? It's not about just like fucking over rich people a little bit for the first time ever, while simultaneously, for no discernible reason, doing that and fucking over the working poor spectacularly more. You know what I mean? That's not the point. The point is to actually build a manufacturing hub with good paying jobs where you know, people can buy a house, okay? Fix the housing market. Those are the things that we're supposed to be doing. This is not like the point isn't just to be like, haha, $6 trillion of fake value eroded overnight. Lol. It's like, okay, so did people's like retirement funds. You know what I mean? Sağ ol babacığım. Tamam, bırak. Eyvallah. It's such a funny attitude that like some of these Republicans have, which is like, they're just that's what they think. That's what they think is going on. What they think is going on is like, oh, well, you know, rich people are upset, so this is good. To be fair, it is kind of funny. It is. Especially if you like, you're looking at your 401k, it's not so funny, but then you're looking and you're thinking about like how much more value has wiped out from infinitely wealthier people, and that resentment obviously exists within you, and you look at that and you're like, okay, not the worst thing. Obviously, they will recover from this in ways that you will not be able to. So, you know, I am cautious in the way that I cover this, because on the one hand, it's like, haha, it's funny. But also on the other hand, it's not so funny, because what is yet to come is going to fuck every normal person a lot worse than it screws over the super wealthy. Because they'll always be like, wealth is a relative concept. You're only as wealthy as your wealth is still at the end of the day determined by how others who don't have that kind of wealth. Like it's a proximity thing, right? So they will, under this new structure, still maintain their position, still maintain their status, still be wealthy, just not as wealthy, I guess, right? Yeah, exactly. You're only as wealthy as others are poor. That's just how it kind of works. So that's why I'm like, on the one hand, I think it's very funny because it's like another moment of vindication. Something that I said was incredibly stupid that people seemingly did not listen to. I kept saying like universal tariffs, as a tariff liker, as a tariff enjoyer, as a trade protectionist appreciator, I think what Donald Trump is doing is very stupid. And lo and behold, it was, right? Yeah, not just rich people, not rich, but I do have money in stock and bonds. I'm losing the very little wealth security I have. Sucks. No, I know. I'm that's why I'm saying, on the one hand, there's a little bit of catharsis in seeing like a guy like Aiden Ross be like, oh my God, I lost like $10 million overnight, right? But also on the other hand, you look at your own fucking situation, you look at your portfolio and you're like, well, he can lose 10 million. I can't. So it's a weird circumstance, knowing full well that like they can rebound from that, right? They can recover from that. Whereas you are not going to be able to recover from that. So on the one hand, like I see the catharsis, I see the resentment that a lot of people hold and why it's like kind of funny. But also on the other hand, I recognize how damaging this is. Yeah. See what I'm saying? Law only 62% of Americans have stock. That's an insane number of people. And also, it doesn't even matter because here's the reality. And this is something that I've talked about quite a bit. The way that it works is the gains in the stock market are privatized. They are up there at the tippy top. Okay. It's consolidated. Wealth is consolidated at the top. The top 10% of the stock market owns 90% of all of the stocks. Okay. In the United States of America. The bottom 90% is the 62% you're talking about. The bottom 90% is literally they only own 10% of the stocks. The way this works is when the stock market's doing well, they're doing really good. You're doing all right in comparison. But when it's doing poorly, those losses are socialized. So when the stock market does poorly, you're fucked because companies start engaging in layoffs. You might get a recession. You might get a depression, right? So it's really fucking, it's awful. It's an awful situation overall. And it's not like this government or any government, as a matter of fact, in the United States of America has ever historically looked at economic downturn periods and said, we got to save the working poor. Fuck the wealthy. We got to save the working poor instead. That has never happened. So that's also another scary circumstance. It's another scary thing to look at. So it's not about the actual losses, but the effects of those losses of the stock market downturn. Yes. For the average American, you would not care about your 401k if you had a reliable pension program and also Social Security that could keep you afloat. You'd be like, okay, this is extra money on the side. Great. Okay. The only reason why you feel like you have vested interest in the stock market doing well is because you don't have those things. And we have basically financialized that aspect of people's retirement already. Something I talk about quite a bit. This is the reason why, and it's a very clever, very insidious method of making you feel like you have vested interest in the stock market doing well. It is crazy to me that most people don't recognize this. That is precisely the reason why the dude working at the fucking kitchen, like a chef, under normal circumstances, who's not like super caked up, is still going, I'm checking the stocks. It's doing well. So I guess my president is doing right by me. It's like, bro, that's not for you. That's only there to make you feel like it is for you, right? And the unfortunate reality is, of course, you can't do anything about it because in the absence, this is why I say, like, while I personally am, of course, very much against capital accumulation, I understand that even as a leftist, like, you have to have a retirement fund, right? Like, being a socialist, being a moral socialist doesn't mean that you work till you die. Being a moral socialist doesn't mean you can't have some kind of security, some kind of protection for your future. This is something that I've talked about quite a bit. I would never urge you not to have a 401k, for example. But for many people, I think, especially people that are just entering the market or have entered it and have been working for like a decade or whatever and have been trying to cultivate a retirement fund for themselves, those people know they're never retiring at this point unless something changes dramatically. And things are changing dramatically, except in the direction that hurts them, in the direction that hurts the average American, and not in a direction that helps the average American. You know? Lol, look at Richie Rich over here. I only have a 01k. Yeah. No more 401ks, only 205, 201ks. Maybe a 101k after this week. Who knows? So let's get into it. Donald Trump created a process in which the Bloody Market Monday has taken place. I truly thought about staying behind in New York just to get a better read on Wall Street, but I wanted to be back here with my family, so I had to run back. And a lot of weird shit happened apparently because I was half asleep on the plane, but like checking the reports. And it seems like there was also an error in the reporting that caused the markets to bounce back up because people were so desperate. Okay. In the midst of this chaos, there was a brief moment where someone misunderstood what Trump was saying or what Trump's team was saying, and they literally reported it incorrectly. And it caused the markets to rebound because people were like, oh my God, thank God. Okay, the tariffs are a lie. Haha. It's fine. Yeah, here it is. This absolute comedy. The market was blood red today. Then an unattributed rumor was started on X and there was a consideration of a 90-day tariff pause. The market turned green. Then 5 minutes later, the White House denied the rumor. The market became red again. What are we doing? It is a fucking clown show that one guy, and it's not even fake news, by the way. It wasn't even a fake news situation. It was that Bloomberg account and it's not even a real Bloomberg account. It's just like Walter Bloomberg or something. And he just like makes it seem as though he's directly reporting from the Bloomberg terminal. Like he just tweets like he is a Bloomberg terminal. And ironically enough, he misunderstood what the fucking dude was saying. He just simply, it wasn't even like, I don't think Walter Bloomberg, this guy, I don't think that he was reporting this because he wanted to misinform the public. I think he was reporting this because he's a fucking blue checkmark account that wants to be first to market and misunderstood what Hassett was saying. Because Hassett basically said something along the lines of like, you know, when I'm asked a question and I say, yeah, no, that's kind of how he replied to a question as far as I understand. And he misinterpreted it. And because it's a fucking Twitter blue checkmark account, he went first to market with it. And when that happened, it fucking blew up. It blew up. It's so crazy. This is everything that I talk about. This is precisely what I talk about in terms of like misinformation and how stupid it is. Remember who posted fake Hassett headlines in Bloomberg style? Reuters reported on it, chat. Reuters, as in fake news from a fucking unverified, silly ass Twitter account caused actual financial newsrooms to literally go to market with the fucking bullshit. It is crazy. This is the world we live in today. Do you understand how psychotic that is? CNBC reported on it. Instantly, the markets flipped and everyone was like, oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. The tariffs are just fake. Haha, he was just joking. 90-day pause. We have confidence in the market again. Buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. Donald Trump's White House comes back and says, ha ha, fuck you. That's not what we meant, bitch. It's fake news. we're going to make the market scream. Here it is.
Will you do a 90-day pause? Would you consider that?
Or Bill, yeah, I think that the president is going to decide what the president's going to decide.
Yeah, he said, yep, I think the president's going to, that's it. That's the reason. This is a misinterpretation of this from a blue checkmark Twitter account that wanted to be first to market and fucking pump the goddamn tweet and get clout and maybe like $35 in Twitter revenue. That is the reason why almost $1 billion of value came back to the market over this one key piece of misinformation.
Will you do a 90-day pause? Would you consider that?
Or Bill, yeah, I think that the president is going to.
Oh my God. 3.5 trillion. 3.5 trillion over. Oh my God. Oh my God. I thought it was billions. I didn't realize it was fucking. Oh my God. I apologize, chatters. I was on the plane while this was happening. And I was like in and out of sleeping. So I didn't even realize. And then it fucking dipped again when the White House said this is not correct. Insane market action right now. Market exploded on a headline attributed to Kevin Hassett. And now nobody can figure out where it came from. And the markets are diving again. An 8% surge and a 3.5% plunge in a matter of seconds. One, money is so fake. I'm telling you right now, I'm begging you to understand, this is the most fake money has ever been. This is, ironically enough, the contradictions of capitalism in full display. Okay? This right here is the problem with the financialized capitalist global economy. This is it. This is it. A little bit of misinformation in times of instability can cause market movements like this. I never want to hear any fucking economist or any expert tell me that this is a rational process ever again. Oh, supply demand. Look at the supply demand. All of this shit is fake. It's all about confidence. Nobody fucking fully understands the fundamentals, and the fundamentals don't even matter. It just doesn't matter. You cannot have a situation where a madman can single-handedly wipe out $7 trillion of fucking value over the course of a couple days, only to have it bounce back for 3.5 trillion because the people are so desperate for a return to normalcy that they fucking cope and believe a random Twitter blue checkmark account who did not understand the point that this dude was making and heard his transition word where he used yep for a brief moment, for literally half of a second, and that brought back $3.5 trillion in value. Money is fake. It's the most fake it's ever been, and it will only get more fake. This is why I always used to fucking tell you that the only difference between cryptocurrencies and the fucking stock market is at least that there is like some assets that you can associate within the stock market. And at least historically, the stock market was based on fundamentals. It was always unstable. It was always gambling, but at least there was like a little bit less gambling. Okay. Cryptocurrency is like playing roulette with a blindfold on, whereas the stock market is like playing blackjack. Okay. The odds are more in your favor in that process. And there's a method, there's a rule book to it, but it's still fucking gambling. It's very cool that everything in our economy, every single company in our economy works in the casino. How amazing. How amazing. And all of this stuff would not happen if this wasn't the perfect storm of, one, automation, because there are so many trades that are happening in an automated process, and because so many people were incredibly fucking desperate to hear a sense of normalcy. Now, the last part that I want to maintain, the last part that I want to mention here about this entire process being a fucking casino is that Donald Trump bankrupted his casino. He literally bankrupted his casino. He's bankrupting the casino again. What is happening? But this time it's the global casino. Oh my God. This is literally the same shit. The guy who fucking had 6 bankruptcies, 6 fucking bankruptcies, including bankrupting a fucking casino, is bankrupting the global casino.
Thank you very much.
And now he's over here sucking the cock of Benjamin Netanyahu, a war criminal. Holy fuck.